Growth with inequality. The economic survey seems to privilege wealth creation over the reduction of income disparity. So, the economic survey, the economic an economic survey, it was held by the Indian government. An economic survey, it does the analysis of the financial conditions of any country, whether the financial condition of the overall country increased or it decreased. Seems to privilege. So it seems to give more importance, or it seems to more prioritize wealth creation over the reduction of income disparity. So income disparity means income disparity means for example, suppose there is a farmer and there is a businessman. Obviously, the businessman will be getting way more money than the farmer, than the farmer, and if, and and that does not mean that farmer is not hardworking. He is very hardworking, even the farmer gets a very low income, whereas the businessman gets a lot of income. So this is known as income disparity. So the economic survey, it gave more importance to wealth creation or making more money over the reduction of income disparity. So reduction of income disparity, that's a very good thing, and it actually happened in 2020. So without giving more importance to that, it actually gave some importance to that, but more than that, it gave more importance to the wealth creation. The economic survey for 2020 to 2021 is an expansive attempt at reviewing the developments in the Indian economy during the current financial year and providing an outlook for the near-term prospects. So this economic survey, as I said, which analyzed the data of 2020 to 2021 period. It is a very expansive one. It is a very huge and broad one. At reviewing the developments in the Indian economy, as I said, it reviewed the developments in the Indian economy during the current fiscal year and providing an outlook for its near-term prospects. The analysis of that data, it could help us to predict some things. Spread over 700 pages, the survey opts for a self-congratulatory tone while highlighting the policy achievements of the government in steering the economy through the treacherous shoals of the most unfathomable global health emergency experienced in the modern history. So the economic survey, it was written over 700 pages, and it opts for means it leans for self-congratulatory means it leans for self-congratulatory tone. So it means that the economic article or the economic survey which was held, it is a self-congratulatory one, which means the government itself, which published the economic article or the economic survey, it is congratulating itself. It is congratulating itself because of the success of the policies which the government had made, because of the policy achievements of the government in steering the economy. So they're so proud because because the policies which the government made have been successful, and they have achieved many things. They have steered the economy to the treacherous shoals. So even in the times of even in the hard times of COVID-19 pandemic, those policies, they made a very big change in the Indian economy, and they played a major role in the recovery. Citing an approach that used graded public health measures to transform short-term trade-off between lives and livelihood into a win-win that would save both lives and livelihoods over the long term. The survey asserts that India established a globally unique model of strategic policy making in containing the COVID-19 pandemic, while helping the economy recover quickly from its deleterious impact. So the policy of India, it actually achieved more than one thing. Not only the recovery of the Indian economy after during the COVID-19 pandemic. That's not the only thing which the policies have achieved. Um, the survey asserts that India established a globally unique model of strategic policy making. Because of the policy making which the government of India has done, the Indian government, it actually had a very unique strategy to fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, and also to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. To contain means to stop the further spreading of the virus as much as possible, while helping the economy recover quickly from its deleterious impact. There is no denying that um, the country appears to have not only flattened the curve, but also crucially so far avoided a bruising second wave of infections seen in much of Europe and the US. So there is no denying that. Means it is very obvious that in many other countries except India, for example UK, USA, Italy, or any other country that you might take, all of them have experienced a second wave, a second wave of the pandemic, a second round of the pandemic. So the coronavirus, it hits for the second time and it does even more damage. But India, there was no such scenario or such situation because we did a very good job in controlling in containing the virus. While it may be debatable as how much the tune of the pandemic's progress could be attributed wholly to proactive policy measures, the service contention that India has turned the crisis into an opportunity to strengthen its long-term growth potential through seminal reforms sound off key, especially given in the ongoing farmers' agitation against the new farm laws. um, Against the new farm laws. Um, so it may be debatable of how much the turn in pandemic's progress. So I just said that the recovery, the economic recovery or the containment of the virus during the pandemic, it was well achieved by India than any other country. So that that may not be only because of the policies. It may be because of the people who have been following strict rules. So we don't we can't just praise the policy making strategy of India. So because we don't know the reason, because we don't know the exact reason of the perfect containment of the virus, and our marvelous economic recovery. So we cannot give the full credit to the policy making. And also the crisis of the virus, the pandemic, it has given an India opportunity, and India used that opportunity to strengthen itself. It created more sustainable reforms during this time of hardship. India faced many hardships during this. India has faced many hardships during this period. Not only the pandemic, but it also faced many border fights between China and many other countries, and also it also had the problem of the farm loss. While dealing with the farm loss and the border conditions, India with its unique policy making, it has successfully fought against the coronavirus, and it became successful in containing the virus and also recovering from the deleterious impact of the pandemic. The survey goes on to forecast that the economy is currently experiencing a V-shaped recovery that would enable GDP to expand even by a conservative estimate by 11% in real terms in 2021 to 2022. Um, so and the remaining part of it, in the remaining part of the survey or the article, it says that um, it forecasts, that means it kind of predicts that the economy is currently experiencing a V-shaped recovery. It said that the present economy of India will be experiencing a V-shaped economy. A V-shape, it looks like this. It looks like this, which means that at first there's a decrease in the economy, and then it may be or it may not be stable for some time, and then it goes right up. Means the economy will be recovered. It has been recovered immediately after some descent, and that would enable our GDP to expand, and obviously it expands our GDP even by a conservative estimate by 11% in real terms, at least by 11% in this period. Our GDP should surely expand for at least 11%. Still, to achieve that level of real growth, retail inflation must moderate substantially to an average of 4.4% or less over 12-month period through March 2022, given that survey has projected nominal growth at 15.4%. But even though I said that we have at least improved our condition by 11%, we still need to improve a lot more uh, to to regain our our initial economic status or condition. Also, while battling for a fiscal push to support the reviving economy, it posits an upside to the growth of the um, prognosis predi- um, predicated on, among other factors, a rapid rollout of the COVID-19 vaccines and a recovery in demand is battered services sector. Um, is in the battered services sector. So we in, so as a we right now have two difficult challenges. One is to handle and one is to properly manage the distribution of the vaccine rollout, and the other one is to give the Indian economy a fiscal push. So we need to do something to regain the economic condition of India as soon as possible, and also we need to manage distributing huge amounts of vaccine in very soon time, like in a week or so. However, the document fails in providing an honest assessment of the on-ground economic situation by overlooking key aspects, including the extent of the unemployment, even as it hints at the level of rural joblessness, which followed the return of millions of urban casual workers in the wake of the last year's hastily implemented lockdown. So even though the survey it was self-congratulatory, and it told that the Indian policy making had achieved many things, but it was not quite honest because it did not cover the entire things of some topics. For example, it didn't entirely cover the topic of joblessness or unemployment. It has explained it for a specific extent, but it has stopped the unemployment problem or the joblessness problem. It has increased in a huge amount in the period of the pandemic, because very less people had jobs. Um, this it does by taking credit for a record of 311.92 crore person days of work generated over the last 10 months under MGN REGA, and in contending that growth should be prioritized over inequality in tackling poverty, when the pandemic has exasperated the gap between the rich and the poor, and the finance minister is to is set to present her, is set to present her budget. The survey seems to privilege wealth creation over all else. So, and in contending the growth should be prioritized over inequality. So, what do we mean that a country is growing? Here, the author says that when we say that a country is in its growth, or in the period of its development, it means that the country has given more importance to the reduction of the inequality of the income, and also in tackling poverty. So overall GDP of the country should increase, and for that and for that there should be no poverty, and also the inequality in the income should also decrease. And that's it. And that's also and that's that statement, it was also given in the title of this editorial, in the reduction of the income disparity. So, but the pandemic, it has exasperated that goal. So suppose that India wanted to do so. It wanted to decrease the income disparity. But this pandemic, it has exasperated the gap between the rich and poor. It has made the situation of this income disparity much worse, because now at present the poorer are getting very poor and the rich are getting very richer. And the finance minister is set to present a budget, and the finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman, she doesn't have much time. She should present the budget for the current fiscal year of India. The survey seems to privilege wealth creation over others. So the author says that at the last line, overall, the economic survey or the economic article, it overall seems to give more importance, or it wants to emphasize the wealth creation over the reduction in the over the income disparity. Thank you.